You were on Rogan a few times, at least 3 times. So like that must have been like a big feather in your cap. What do you think of everything that's happening with him now? This N-word clip dropped. I mean, they've been trying to like cancel him for a while over like COVID misinformation, and now they're trying to get him on being racist, and they'll probably try transphobia and misogyny at some point. Like, how do you feel about, who knows? Some people think he's being set up for a demise. Some people think, Spotify will never leave him behind. But like, how do you feel like seeing this happen to him? And
I don't know what the cause is. It could be an ad campaign by Spotify for all I know. I mean, Edward Bernays, man, these guys know some stuff. But how do I feel about it? I actually was kind of resentful at Rogan for a while because he staged a social media intervention for me on one of his podcasts, and he pretty much painted. Yeah, you can watch the clip. It's on YouTube right now. It's called Joe Rogan has social media intervention with Owen Benjamin, where he was like, "I love you, dude, but you misrepresent yourself online." And he read a few of my tweets that hold up great. One of them was, I don't want slavery to come back, but I kind of do. So Sean King admits he's white. That was my joke. And it was, yeah, it's funny. It's totally fine. And so back then it was like, the devil, you should be canceled. It just, my Twitter was nuts.
That's not even that bad of a joke. Like you're not insulting anyone. It's not even slur. It's like a smart joke. It's really about how people behave. It's about like you get people to a point, and then it's like survival instinct takes over, and all the woke shit is left behind.
Exactly, that was the whole joke. And and I'll, out of respect to your platform and audience, I'll say N-word, even though like in my
I will for you. That's my choice. You're better than Gavin. He lets him rip, and then I have to call my editor.
For me, it's taking off shoes at a Japanese house. It's like the thing that I was against is you don't get to make me take off my shoes in my house. It's like if I'm in your house, I'll take off my shoes out of respect.
That's nice. I get that.
And so
That's
anyway,
cool. So if I ever do your show, do I have to go out of my way to say it then?
No. That'd be hilarious if I'm like, listen,
I'll do it.
Listen, you broke the contract. We need a lot more ends. And so what happened was like when I would drop hard ends on Twitter, it would always be questions. It would be like, if a rapist called her attacker an N-word, Hollywood would be more offended by the N-word than the rape. And so people start reacting. I know you're like, yeah,
that's just a thought. It's like,
it's a fascinating thought because I never understood why N-word wasn't necrophilia, which is having sex with a dead corpse, versus the N-word is a derivative of negra, which is Portuguese for the color black. It's really not, it doesn't, how dare you? There's so many trigger warnings. It's like, no, but fundamentally, what does the word marriage mean? I'm not against civil unions. If you and your best buddy Gary want to get an apartment together and start a tea company, go ahead. But like, marriage is a word that exists. So anyway, so then people would respond. I'm like, and I haven't even said the color of the woman. What if the woman is black? And then can she call her attacker an N-word?
What if they were friends? And like, what if they did a rap? They did a rap album together. What if they?
Yeah, it's like, what if she's half? What if someone is Jamaican mixed with? And basically, I was painting the picture of like the N-word spell is ridiculous. It's like, who gets to say it? Why? What does power mean? Why are you offended by a word and not rape? And so this is even before the Me Too movement. So I'm showing that Hollywood, I am a trendsetter. I might have started the Me Too movement. But anyway, so I'm showing that Hollywood isn't offended by rape. I'm like, all they could see is that word. And so, so Rogan has this intervention with me, and I got kind of resentful later because I think that painted kind of the narrative to get me canceled from everything, because it shows the alpha of comedy that I had a lot of respect for. And he was kind of like the Don Corleone of comedy. And so when the guy with the ring says to like, change, you should change. And I don't change. So I'm like,
do you think it was possibly like an opportunity for him to be like, oh, we're talking about this. Now you can go a new way. Like, do you think in some part of it was him being like, I'm trying to help you. Yeah. I'm trying to like save you or whatever, from like cleanse your past or something. Like,
yeah, maybe. I'm not going to assign intention to it at all anymore. Cause I got a little paranoid about it. And I was like, was that like a thing that he was told to do, And then I'm like,
right.
No, Usually that's not it. Sometimes it is that with certain things, but I'm like, who even cares? It's fine. I'm fine. But so now I was waiting years to see him in this very position. And honestly, when I saw it, I was kind of bummed out. I'm like, because I grew up listening to Rogan, and I like that he can hold the line and sprinkle in some truth more than mainstream. And so to see him say that he's the most ashamed of saying the N-word, I was like kind of sad for him, because like, you know, but
do you think that's overall, his own, that's coming from his heart? Do you think he's kind of being told to say that?
No, of course not. I mean, that's
a marching order.
Yeah, it's 100% a marching order. And so I think in his defense, he would probably, I don't really know, but in his defense, it's like, we have bigger battles to fight. I need to keep my platform so that I can drop a little vaccination truth or something. And I understand that, but, and so I have no resentment towards him at all, but I do make fun of his height and stuff, but like, that's what I do. I make fun of just dumb stuff. But
yeah,
but I you know, I don't want to see him fall, to be honest with you, because it's like, we just lose another guy out there. And I like that he does comedy, and I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't hurt me at all what happens to him. And so I don't know. I just hope more people see that words aren't inherently malicious. You can't have a bad word. I teach my kids that there are weak words, not bad words. So it's like
nice and fine are weak words. Like when mommy says she's fine and that's nice.
Right, that's
know funny. That she's lying. No.
Yeah, deception is weak, you know. So, but I don't swear on my kids. Like, I don't even say stupid, because I don't want them to repeat words that would make people not like them. That's like my job right now as a dad.
Sounds like a Jordan Peterson rule.
Yeah, one of his rules. One of his rules should be, don't do methamphetamines in Russia. But
maybe that'll be in the next book.
You see what I mean, though? It's like, that's just funny. And so if I tweeted that, though, I'd get like 9 interventions of like,
you gotta clean your room and don't do methamphetamines in Russia.
I know anyone who's ever done any form of methamphetamines, including Adderall, knows that the first thing you want to do is clean your freaking room.
Yeah, you can't help it. You clean everybody else's room in the house. You're like, you know, you're
cleaning,
washing a coffee machine. You get a lot done.
You call people bucko. You're like, clean your room, bucko. And you're like, are you on meth again? And you're like, yeah. You're polishing and organizing. So yeah, I want to see people become aware that a word isn't inherently evil, or like making fun of a group doesn't mean you want to hurt them physically. You know, I would love that, but I don't think people are going to see that. So I'm going to keep building what I'm building and growing my family and talking to interesting people like you and just living my life, you know?
You know what it is? I think why words have gotten more power than they should have is because people want to feel stable and powerful, and it's easier to make it about a microaggression or racism or sexism than to actually take the time to self-reflect and be like, what do I need to do? Do I have to build my team? Do I have to go to therapy and work on my shit? How do I start a business? How do I build whatever I'm supposed to build with my you know, God-given life? Exactly. That's true power. Nobody can knock that down. That's the real self-esteem. But it's so much easier just take a picture of your tits and throw it on Instagram and get 100 likes. It's so much easier to say, oh, microaggression, and now you have the power, instead of like living a life that is powerful. And it's just it's a quick fix. So that's why it's attractive to people. I'm gonna go